captain by a hook with a red beard.
Man. How the hell y'all doing? Sorry, I jumped in late trying to catch up like some mayonnaise. Auburn and Yale, baby. That's 4 and 13 over in the East region. Shout out to Yale. Getting the tip in buzzer beater today in the Ivy League. Man. I don't know, man. BYU, baby. A 6 seed. BYU's underrated. I don't know how much noise they're going to make, but haven't heard much about them. Uh-oh. That's your boys. Not my boys. I like BYU there. The Fighting Illini, baby. That boy Brad Underwood. Man, great Big Ten championship if you missed it. Sorry if you're just tuning in, jumping in late. It's Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dobbs, baby. Already got the East region underway. Morehead State taking on Illinois. It's captained by a hook with the red beard. We about to break down this bracket live. First thoughts. 7th seed, Washington State. Ooh. If this weekend is anything like next weekend, boy, oh boy, I can't wait, baby. Cheers to everybody around the world. March Madness. Drake, Washington State. That's going to be a good game. Oh, wee. It's not really a matchup that's dry that blow me away yet, though. Iowa State, too. Iowa State, 2 seed, man. A lot of these first reactions, I don't know how to feel about that. Do I trust them? I think they get South Dakota State for sure, but Washington State or Drake, I think South Dakota. I think Drake or Washington State could get busy with them. Man, you look at the region, just East region straight off the bat. UConn. Here you go. Beat San Diego State, Auburn. Trying to see right off the bat. I think UConn. I don't know. Northwestern or Florida Atlantic. Do they give UConn any troubles? I don't think so. I do not think so. Then you got Auburn. How about Yale and Auburn? What's that? +7.5, +6.5. I like Yale plus the points. Or do I? Auburn, man, they're fishy, man. They've been a bad team for me this year. Missing it by a hook and then covering when I fade them. But I think they do handle business against Yale. That's probably like an 8.5, 9.5 point spread. I think I would take Auburn there for sure, just off of the initial reactions. But I don't know how far these teams get. San Diego State, Auburn in the second round. It's going to be a dogfight on that Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it is. I think I take San Diego State, and then you have a rematch in the Sweet 16, San Diego State and UConn. I think UConn still handles business over San Diego State. And then out the bottom half of the draft, I don't trust any of these teams in the bottom. Illinois, BYU, Iowa State, San Diego State. South Dakota State. Drake and Washington State might be the two dangerous teams I see. Of course, Illinois, we just watched them get the Big Ten championship. Shout out to them and Brad Underwood and everything they're doing, but I can see them struggling with BYU. I don't know. I think whoever comes out of that bottom is going to somehow go on a run, whether it's Washington State, Drake, or Iowa State. I definitely think they come out of there. One of those three teams is going to take care of one of those top two or three teams. We're going to see UConn and some weird team in the Elite Eight. Uh, my guess right now, at the top of my head, the winner of Washington State and Drake is going to beat Iowa State in that second round. Iowa State probably be like, what, 400-point favorites? I would take Washington State or Drake. Whoever wins that game, I think, is going to the Sweet 16. Both of those teams are really, really, really good. And I feel like just out of the history, Illinois is the team that makes it to the Sweet 16 over BYU. Not to get too chalky and just take the 3 seed in that little 4 group bracket out of BYU, Illinois, Morehead State, and Duskany. Duskanani. Shout out to them, man. Getting an 11 seed. They ain't even got to fight for it. Well, I don't know. I think I would take Illinois. Uh, winner of Washington State, Drake. That'll be a tough one. I might like Illinois there. Maybe we end up with Illinois, UConn, Elite Eight to try and get to that Final Four. That's initial thoughts, initial reactions. I'm not gonna stream all night, but I'll be back in the morning. But I am doing an all-nighter as far as diving into this bracket. Definitely start placing some bets. By the time the sun comes up in the morning, as I go live every morning, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Of course, start talking the bracket and we'll break it down a little deeper. But this is just the initial thoughts going live right here with Selection Sunday. UConn, Illinois. For those that missed it, you can rewind, of course. That's just the initial thoughts of and I think UConn wins that one. If we end up with a UConn, Illinois in 2 weeks. I mean, of course, I think UConn's gonna be favored. It's just tough to say. It could be 3.5 up to 6.5, and I wouldn't. It's one of those lines that's tough to call. I'll tell you what, though, if it gets too big, I would take Illinois. I think that's a closer game. Of course, we don't have a number, but I think it's going to be a single-digit game. I see UConn blowing out a lot of people. I don't see UConn blowing out Illinois, especially if it's in an Elite Eight game. Going to the South, Houston, baby. H-Time. Shout out to Houston, man. I mean, other than getting blown out yesterday by Iowa State, just beautiful. Couldn't have asked for a better first season in the Big 12. Impressed me a lot. As y'all remember on the show, I was kind of saying they might have a bad Big 12 first season, but they didn't. They're taking on the Lancers, baby, from Longwood. Get a chance to see what they got against the number 1 seed. Give me Houston minus 50. Nebraska, okay. That boy, Kese Tominaga. Nebraska, baby, 8 seed. I like it. They went far in the Big Ten conference tourney, losing yesterday. Ooh, Texas A&M. That's a tough draw. Texas A&M is one of those teams I don't believe in, but I don't like betting against them, especially not with Nebraska. That might be an underplay. I'm gonna have to do some numbers. Uh, but then Nebraska could get hot and drop 90. I've seen it. Start stroking them. Uh-oh. Wisconsin as a 5 seed. Damn. They got to take on. I don't know. Wisconsin 5 seed just feels so Big Ten bias for a lot of these teams. James Madison. This is going to be the most popular pick. James Madison, this 12 seed over Wisconsin, I guarantee you, it's the pick you're going to hear the most about as far as being the upset between now and Friday when this game tips off. This game is going to literally be the lock of the century. James Madison at that 12 seed. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I'm not declaring that. I just know. I mean, just know. You know, the 12 seed over the 5 seed gets overhyped always. You got Duke as this 4 seed. I'll come back to James Madison at that 12 seed spot in a minute. We got Vermont taking on Duke. I feel like that's a matchup I've seen in my dreams 20 times. Texas Tech. Get funky. A lot of Texas teams over here in the South. James Madison. It's almost comical. NC State. Yikes. That's the team nobody wants to play right now. Wants to play right now. I told y'all, man. People already texting me James Madison money line, NC State over Texas Tech. Those are probably going to be the two most popular bet games. Kentucky, that's a 3 seed. Man, I like Kentucky this year. I'm usually not on the Blue Bloods like that. I like a lot of these Blue Bloods this year. I like Kentucky. I think we see a weird madness, but I think it ends up Blue Bloods proving why they're Blue Bloods. Taking on Oakland. Give me that over, please. Give me that over. Florida at the 7. Florida disappointed me today, man. I had the money line taking on Auburn. Boise State, Colorado. Fighting for a 10 seed. Maybe I'm tripping. That's new to me. Boise State, Colorado. Yuck. Imagine being Colorado. You got to go play Boise State. Give me Boise State, man. Mount West. I don't think Colorado has a tournament team. I think they have a tournament team. I don't think they have a player in the tournament that could be a difference maker. I mean, they got Cody Williams. I like Cody Williams a lot, but I don't know if he's going to go out there and just get a bucket when they need him to go out there and get a bucket. Marquette at the 2 seed, and then Western Kentucky, WKU. Western Kentucky. Shout out Western Kentucky, man. I'm just messing with you. Man, Houston, Longwood. Of course, we're taking that. Nebraska, Texas A&M. That's gonna be something I might stay away from. James Madison, Wisconsin. I'm gonna see how the number opens, see how it fluctuates. That's gonna be one of those plays I'm gonna play depending. If I can get Wisconsin after the line moves 6 or 7 points from everybody betting James Madison, I might jump on it. We'll see how it opens. I'm guessing it's gonna open around 2.5 or 3. Wisconsin might get bet to James Madison 1.5, but I don't know. I don't think Wisconsin is as bad as I don't know. Who knows? Can't call it. Just first thoughts here. Duke and Vermont. I definitely like that game. Think it's gonna be closer than people think. I might play Vermont plus the points, depending on the points that I'm getting. I'm thinking 8.5 or more. I'll play it. But then it's first round in the tournament. You telling me Duke minus 8.5? I might just have a Twitch reaction to take that. Tucky, Oakland, give me that all day. Um, I don't know. I like the way this is breaking down. Boise State, I think, can go on a run. I think if Boise State beats Colorado, they can beat Florida and they can beat Marquette. I think Boise State could be one of those flashy teams out the bottom of that bracket, coming through to the Sweet 16. Kentucky, I think, might give them a problems. Kentucky could just flat out score. They'll let you score 95, but they're gonna score 110. So I definitely like Kentucky in tournament style. If Kentucky can get past Oakland and then Texas Tech or NC State, I just don't see any one of those teams scoring with Kentucky. Maybe NC State has the best chance. Texas Tech, if that game gets over 70, I feel like they're out of it. They're not comfortable running like that and scoring in the 80s and 90s like NC State and Kentucky are. Um, so that's Texas Tech's biggest thing. Keep NC State and Kentucky. You might have to play them both that first weekend. You're gonna have to bring your defense if you're Texas Tech, and which they can, but I don't know. NC State seems magical. They seem ready. They seem poised for a run. NC State Kentucky might be one of those second round matchups I'm really looking forward to seeing just off the bat. I love Florida. I just think Boise State's a bad pool. So you got Boise State. Let's just say Kentucky, Sweet 16. I think Kentucky just rolls to that Elite Eight position. And at the top, I think Duke and Vermont's going to be close. I think Duke pulls it off in the end. Definitely can see Duke winning this thing by 5 to 6 as 8 point favorites, or winning it by 20 because it's Duke in the first round. Wisconsin, James Madison. I'm gonna go Wisconsin to be chalk here, but this is just first thoughts. I don't think whoever wins this gets too far. So I'm not too worried about it. This is one of those initial thoughts. I'm just gonna put Wisconsin in the next round. Take Duke over Vermont, Duke over Wisconsin. End up with Duke in Houston. I don't think Nebraska or Texas A&M or Longwood, for that matter, gives Houston any kind of fight. Give me Houston blowing out whoever they see in that Sweet 16, whether it's Duke or Wisconsin or even James Madison or Vermont. Of course, any one of those four can possibly make it. I'm gonna say Duke, for instance, Houston, and then give me Houston turkey dog whooping the Blue Devils. Kentucky and Houston. We've seen Houston's defense hold some elite offenses to under 60 points. We've also seen Kentucky score 100 points no matter who they're playing. I'd have to go Houston. Houston coming out of that thing. Two number one seeds. That ain't right. I don't like it. I don't like Houston going that far. Something's gonna have to happen. I don't like this bracket at all. The more I think about this bracket specifically, I just don't like it. I feel like that every year though. The initial thoughts when you look at a bracket is just like, what the? None of these matchups I was prepared for. I was thinking about. I mean, Lord have mercy. I can't wait to break this stuff down. This bracket's gonna be tough to call, man. I think this is gonna be where the most chaoticness happens, where you end up with the first Thursday with only one or two check marks from this whole bracket right here in the South. I don't think it gets easier on Friday. Friday. Man, I can't wait to see where New Mexico is placed. I can't wait to see where Michigan State's placed. McNeese State, teams I'm looking forward to seeing. Grand Canyon, Long Beach. Still a bunch of teams I'm looking forward to seeing. I still haven't hit like one of those teams where I like that's who I want to see. Going to the Midwest, baby. The Boilermakers. I shouldn't even write their name down. Can't see. Where am I? The Purduekies. Give me something good. Montana. Montana State are Grambling. Shout out to Grambling. Louisiana school down there, boy. I don't think any one of those teams pose a threat to Purdue. Utah State. Now that second round money line, baby. That's the type of team I was looking forward to taking in that second round against Purdue. I mean, I am looking forward to that. I don't even care who Utah State play. Yeah, Utah State. Give me Utah State minus 4.5 first round. Give me Utah State plus 225 on the money line second round. We going into the Sweet 16 feeling good, baby. Utah State. Give me that. Uh-oh. I love this bracket. Gonzaga. Going Zagaza. Oh my goodness. Now this is a bracket. McNeese State, don't do it to me. Oh my God. Gonzaga first round. That changes everything. That changes every bleeping thing. I wanted McNeese State against Auburn. Ah, Gonzaga, McNeese. Give me whoever over Kansas. Maybe not Sanford, but second round. Give me McNeese or Zaga over Kansas. Samford. Man, I can't believe they gave McNeese State Gonzaga, man. Holy coyotes, Batman. Woo! Let's get to the bottom of this thing. Number 6 seed, baby. Where we at? Where we at? South Carolina. That's the only team I got tickets on. Believe it or not. I got Final Four and national title tickets on South Carolina. Only numbers I really like out of the long shots. Not like I really believe in it. Oregon. I should have took them, man. I've been telling y'all how good Oregon was all season. I think South Carolina takes that by one, but Oregon, I love Oregon. I'm glad they got in. Creighton. Now this is a bracket. Creighton, South Carolina, bro. Must see TV. They know what they're doing with this thing. Talk to me now. Number 14. Akron. Creighton gonna fight Akron. Creighton gonna escape. But don't be surprised if Akron ain't got that thing tied up with 3 minutes left. Texas. Ooh, baby. Oh my goodness. Virginia. That boy said Virginia was not going to be in last night. I'm glad he came to his damn senses. I've been huffing and puffing about Virginia, and then they get to play Isaiah Stevens in Colorado State. Talk about a true beauty of a game on what's that going to be? Tuesday night? Tennessee, baby. Dang, I'm gonna miss that Colorado State Virginia game. I might call off, you know what I mean? Dalton Connect is gonna have to bring his A game. I don't see Tennessee getting to the Sweet 16 with this path. I think St. Peter's is going to ultimately fall. I think Tennessee wins that game by about 12. But Texas, Virginia, or Colorado State can give Tennessee the business. And I think Virginia or Colorado State is going to beat Texas. So that's my first gander just looking at the bottom of this bracket. We're going to go Tennessee over St. Peter's by about 12. Uh, Virginia or Colorado State, whoever wins that game beats Texas. So we got Virginia or Colorado State taking on Tennessee. That's going to be a tough one for Tennessee. Dalton Connect's going to have to score 40. He might have to score 50 because Isaiah Stevens going to score 30 and Virginia going to play some damn defense. That's one thing we know for sure. Looking above that, Creighton, Akron, going to be a tough one. Definitely like Creighton. Not too many upsets I don't see early. Oregon, South Carolina. South Carolina's a 6 seed I trust a lot. Like I said, the only team I have futures on, I said earlier, is because they're a long shot. I also trust it. I wouldn't bet it if I didn't trust it. Definitely one of those moments where I think they got a chance. You got Oregon and then Creighton. Gonna be two tough games, but I think South Carolina has the defense to play with anybody in this bracket. It's going to be if their offense shows up, which sounds dumb and redundant, but trust me, it can show up. And if it does, South Carolina is going to be down there playing against whoever takes on Tennessee because I think they beat Tennessee. I think that gives South Carolina a nice chance. It's going to be Virginia or Colorado State, another team that struggles offensively, somehow going to be battling it out. And I could be wrong, but I think South Carolina gets to the Elite Eight with this path for sure. And I could be because I got a future on them. Let me break it down and look. But and I could be wrong by any of these games. I'm nothing to set in stone. Every one of these matchups is going to be a tough one for every one of these teams. This bottom half of the bracket. Kansas, they got a Stanford team. If Kansas can score, which they can't, they shouldn't have anything to worry about. But if Kansas can score, which they can't, they shouldn't have anything to worry about. Gonzaga, McNeese State. Lord have mercy. Give me a heart attack now. Can't wait to watch that game. Whoever wins that game is beating Kansas. You can mark my words. Gonzaga or McNeese State is beating Kansas, and they're going to take on Utah State. You're going to have Utah State's going to be the big upset in this bracket as an 8 seed. And then Gonzaga or McNeese taking down Kansas. South Carolina uh, upset Creighton in the second round. Virginia or Colorado State is going to be that other team in the Sweet 16. I think South Carolina and honestly, if Gonzaga wins that, Gonzaga, I could see it's gonna be Gonzaga or Utah State. If McNeese State isn't gonna beat Utah State, I don't think. Um, that's gonna be I wish they didn't have Gonzaga and McNeese State playing, but that's what we got. Um, I'm just gonna say Gonzaga, South Carolina. Give me South Carolina plus the 2.5, 3.5. Give me the money line. Give me South Carolina getting to this Final Four, baby. Shaking up. Now we got a 6 seed in there. Houston, UConn, South Carolina. Oh, 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 oh. Again, these are first thoughts, first breakdowns. Um, don't hold too much weight on. Definitely all week on Captain by a Hook right here live every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. I will be giving out my bets for the day. I'll be breaking down these brackets, these matchups, and these games in so much more detail. Pulling an all-nighter tonight. Beautiful selection Sunday. Usually I do my homework early. Cramming it in this year, baby. Give the old procrastination approach a shot. Houston, South Carolina, UConn. I like it. I like it. That's gonna be the first bracket I fill out in a minute. Yeah, boy. That's the one you fill out with pencil. Fill it out with pencil. Doo doo doo. Uh-oh. About to get that last piece to the puzzle. The west side of the bracketito. Can't wait to get numbers for these games. Gonzaga McNeese State might be the most interesting matchup thus far to me personally. I see some good ones though. Also, let's touch on this West Coast. I forget who the last number one is. North Carolina. Talk to them. There's another number one seed. They can't. I'm not having 3, 4 seeds in my Final Four. Somebody's upsetting somebody. North Carolina. Howard or Wagner. Man, on paper, they just letting teams in. On paper. Mississippi State, number 8. I don't know, man. I'm not a Mississippi State fan. I saw what they did. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Talk to me, man. Talk to me, man. Michigan State, baby. Over Mississippi State. Give me Michigan State minus 37. Totally joking. St. Mary's is going to be that 5 seed. Is it wrong of me to have Michigan State upset North Carolina? Is that wrong? Is that crazy? Oh my goodness. They knew what they was doing with these 12 seeds. It's starting to get a little too obvious now. UAB, GCU, James Madison, and McNeese State. Some talented teams in those 12 seed spots. 5 seeds are almost getting at this point. I mean, Lord, I guess that's how you got to rank them. Where they going to end up? I mean, GCU definitely ain't a 7 seed. But Lord, 5 seeds, man, that sucks. Alabama's going to be taking on Charleston. I'd like to see the number on that. Alabama. Ooh-wee. I'd like to see the number on that. Clemson, 6 seed. Let me see who I'm betting. Let me see who I'm betting. Let me see who I'm betting. Clemson. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me right now. New Mexico minus 11. New Mexico is blowing Clemson out, bro. That's gonna be another one, and I'm on it. You're gonna hear me first, but you're gonna hear that all weekend. New Mexico over Clemson, James Madison over Wisconsin. New Mexico over Clemson, New Mexico. Baylor and Colgate. Talk to me, man. I like Baylor. Baylor's one of the teams I like to win it all, man. Yeah, shout out that boy, Shotty Shy. They about to mention your school in a minute, dog. Dayton, baby. Dayton as the 7th seed. Man, Clemson and New Mexico is going to be a great game. Nevada comes in at the 10th seed against Dayton. I like Nevada. Nevada. I like Nevada to make a little noise here. A little 10 seed upset. Little 10 seed upset. Nevada over Dayton. Arizona. Forgot about them. This must be Long Beach State, number 15. I'm going to write it in anyway. Even if I'm wrong. It's got to be. Yeah. Long Beach State taking on Arizona. They're going to put up a valiant effort. Arizona's shown that they can be beat this season. But I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. Nevada, Arizona, looking at the second round, perhaps. How I think it's going to go across the 2 seed Arizona taking on the 10 seed Nevada. I like Nevada. I like Arizona to get upset early. And if it's not this round, it'll be the Sweet 16. I don't see them getting to the Elite Eight this season at all. Baylor, Colgate, give me Baylor. Clemson, New Mexico. Now, New Mexico and Baylor. That boy's Long Beach State going to the Final Four. Hell. Baylor and New Mexico is going to be a great second round matchup. That's must see TV Saturday or Sunday. There's going to be some great second round matchups. Saturday or Sunday might be some of the best basketball we've seen since this past Saturday and Sunday, including today. But just looking at this thing still, New Mexico Baylor, I cannot call that one right now at all. I mean, I like to go dogs, but I like Baylor to win this whole thing. I don't know. Give me the upset though, baby. Give me 11 seed. New Mexico taking down Baylor. Uh, Nevada taking down Arizona. I'm gonna go crazy. A 10 and 11 seed in the Sweet 16, which Cinderella will keep on dancing, dancing, dancing. Yeah. Alabama, Charleston. Give me Bama. I think they outlast Charleston. I think Bama comes with something to prove this offseason. I mean, this postseason. Nate Oates just getting the extension. These players trying to rub off last season. I think Alabama makes some noise. Give me Alabama beating Charleston. Give me Alabama beating St. Mary's or GCU. I think St. Mary's gets the best of GCU. GCU, a good offensive team, not the most disciplined team. They go on cold droughts, and if you go on a cold drought against St. Mary's, you're going to end up down 12. Give me St. Mary's to escape out of the first round. Um, give me Alabama to have the offense to beat them. Go Alabama in the Sweet 16. I'm going to go Michigan State, Michigan State. That's chalk, baby. Don't trust it and don't judge it. Give me Michigan State, Michigan State beating Mississippi State and UNC. We're going to end up with Michigan State taking on Alabama. Michigan State in the same spot they were in last year against Kansas State. They get a job done this year. Michigan State gets to the Elite Eight, people. How do you love it? We're taking on Baylor. No, we're taking on New Mexico or Nevada. Now, you can't call that one. This bottom half of this West bracket is stunning. Um, I'm gonna say give me New Mexico. New Mexico, they beat Michigan State in the Elite Eight. We got New Mexico in the Final Four. We got a 11 seed New Mexico. We got a 6 seed, South Carolina. We got a 1 seed in UConn and a 1 seed in Houston. And that is the official captain by a hook. First glance, initial reaction, first thoughts, final four from this bracket right here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go dive in, get in the lab, as you hear on social media. You're about to see a lot of football content, guys. Try to give you some picks. Just check back in with me in the morning, Captain by a hook right here, baby. We're gonna start deep diving deeper and deeper into this bracket, all the nuances. Uh, Again, Final Four off the top. First look: South Carolina, Houston, New Mexico, UConn. Cannot wait to dive into this thing and come back and holler at y'all. Mañana. That's tomorrow for the non-Espanol speakers. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love. And thank you for the support. This is Captain by a Hook with the Red Beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a fantastic Sunday evening. It is Selection Sunday. We just watched it live. First initial reactions to the bracket. Please take all wagers at your own risk. And please, please gamble responsibly. In the morning, we will have the first bets that have been placed. Dobbs.